Hi guys, welcome to my channel, The Golden Traveler. I'm Cindy, and today we're going to be talking about some tips to save money on your cruise. Now, we all love cruising, but we also know that sometimes it can be really expensive. With all the extras that you purchase on these ships, it can really go skyrocketing. So in this video, let's take a look at some tips to save on your cruise and keep your budget in check. So number one is monitor your cruise prices. So the first thing you should do when you're looking for a cruise, both before and after you book it, is to monitor the price. So what I always do, I look around at the different cruise ships that I want to sail on, such as Princess, I look at Norwegian, I look at Carnival, and I look at Royal Caribbean. And I compare these prices to each other for the trip I want to take in the same time frame, in the same room category, and see what the difference is. And I look at the ships and see what all is on the ships. For example, I just booked a cruise today to the Mexican Riviera. It won't be until November, but I looked around on these ships for the different prices. Surprisingly, I found Princess Cruise to be $1,000 less for an obstructed balcony. Now it's obstructed. I could have paid a little extra for a balcony, but I looked at the actual picture of the stateroom and it wasn't that bad, so it's worth it to get the price I paid on this cruise. Compared to Carnival and Royal Caribbean, it was $1,000 less. And Royal Caribbean and Carnival, to even get a balcony cabin, would have been a lot more. So I got a really good deal. Usually Princess is higher than the other two, but I got this deal, so I took it. So look around. Now, a lot of people want to stick to one cruise line because of their loyalty points. I don't necessarily do that. I like to look around and go on different ships. I don't like to sail on the same ships over and over. I like to have a variety. So if you're new to cruising and you're not really sure what you like, just look around at the different ships and what they have to offer on them. Some have like your water slides and more activities and parties and things like that, where others are more laid back. So just take a look, go onto those websites, get the layouts of the ship, check where you want to go, and check the prices. Once you've booked, you can also go back in and keep an eye on those prices. And if they go down from what you've booked, usually most cruise lines will give you the lower price. So you can call up the cruise line and get that lower price. So keep checking before you go and before and after you booked to see if the price does go down. Number two is don't spend money on food. There is plenty of food and varieties of food throughout the ship. So there's no need to spend extra money for specialty dining if you're trying to save money. Now, I usually don't pay for specialty dining at all. You've got the main dining rooms, you've got, sandwich places, you've got the buffet, you have variety of foods that are included in your price on cruise ships. So I just don't find it necessary to pay extra money to go to a specialty dining when all the food you could ever want, snacks, desserts, are on the ship. So to save money, don't book a specialty dining. Number three, book your next cruise on board. Now, usually if you're on the ship and you know you want to go on another cruise, you can book it on board and either get a discount or some type of promotion like onboard credits or something for booking on the cruise ship. A lot of the cruise lines too, you don't have to decide right then where or when you have to go. You just put down a deposit to book it, and then they give you a certain time frame to book your cruise. So check on that next time you're on board and you think you want to go on another cruise. Check with them and see what they come up with, but usually you're saving money by doing that. Number 3 is bring your own alcohol or soda on board. Now, by alcohol, I mean wine or champagne. Most all the cruise ships, you can bring a bottle of wine on board with you. And also you can bring a 12-pack of soda on board with you. And that would save money overall if you're not a big drinker and you're not going to be buying a lot of drinks. Just bring the wine with you. And the soda, if you drink soda, you'll save money there. Check with your cruise line for the exact details of what you can bring on board. Some are per person, a bottle of wine per adult, 12-pack of soda per person. It depends on the cruise line, so check with them of how much of that you could bring on board. Now on the cruise ship, you do get free water that's not bottled water, that's free. You get that such as the buffet area or places around the ship. They'll have fountains to get water or refill your bottles there. They also give you free iced tea, lemonade, juices, certain juices, regular coffee, decaf coffee, and hot teas. Those are all included in your price. The soda is not, the alcohol is not, but bring some of those on board with you and that will save money. Choose off-peak periods to book your cruise. Now, if you're booking your cruise during the summer or when kids are out of school on holidays, like Christmas break or Easter vacation break, spring break, you're going to pay more money. So if you book in the off seasons, like I just booked this in November, that's one reason we got a lower price. If you can book in the off season and you don't mind doing that, you will get a cheaper price for your cruise. Number 6 is you don't need excursions in every port. Now, I hardly ever pay for excursions. I might do some here and there, but excursions can get ridiculously priced depending on where you're going. Like we just got off our Alaska cruise a couple months ago, and the prices for an Alaskan excursion can be up to like $1,000, $1,500 per person to take certain cruises. So normally we would just get off on the port, explore the shops, the town, go hiking, go to areas. In Alaska, in Sitka, we went to the historical park, which is a rainforest with totem poles all through it, and we did a day trip walking through there and went into a little aquarium that was right there for free and just walked around the town. I do have videos on all of what we did in Alaska. I also have videos of ones we did on our own in Mexico. So take a look at some of those for some ideas of things to do that you don't have to pay for or that are inexpensive. Also, if you don't, usually when you book through the ship, it will cost you more money. You can book on other places like shoreexcursionsgroup.com, and I will put their link below, which have the same packages of the cruise ship at a less price, and they do guarantee return to the ship. Or you can get off the ship, and usually right there on the dock, there'll be certain tours that you could take. Just make sure that you're booking those early so you have plenty of time to get back to the ship. Or, like I said, go out and explore on your own. There's usually a lot to do in ports, or look up the port you're going to beforehand, and you'll for sure find something to do. Number 7 is avoid the drink packages. Now, I never take the drink package, but I may this time on Princess because I think they have the best drink package around. But I don't drink a lot of alcohol, so it's usually not worth it for me to take the drink package. So if you don't drink a lot, it'll be cheaper for you just to pay for your drinks as you go along rather than purchasing the drink packages, which can be fairly expensive. Now, on this Princess cruise I'm going to go on, for example, we're going to be on a 7-day cruise. The drink packages, for the Drink Package Plus, they have 2 drink packages on Princess. It is $60 a day per person. Every adult in the cabin, if one person purchases it, the others have to purchase it also. So that means we both have to purchase it. But with Princess's drink package, you're not just getting the alcohol drinks. You're getting alcohol drinks. For the one I purchased was $60 a day right now per person. So $420 a person. We would have to purchase 2 of those. But with Princess, you're getting your alcoholic beverages up to $15. You're getting 2 casually specialty dining restaurants. You're getting your gratuities paid for. You're getting Wi-Fi paid for. You're getting 2 specialty desserts a day. You're getting free room service for the trip. You get your medallion shipped to you for free. There's other things in this also that is included in this package, where if you add those up separately, it would be a lot more than that. So I'm considering taking the drink package on this cruise, but I'm going to try to figure it all out and make sure if it's worth it. But I think they have one of the best packages around. But if you're not a big drinker, avoid the drink package. You don't need to purchase that. Number 8 is don't pay for cruise extras. Now, things like Wi-Fi, photos, the drink package, specialty dining, and so on, that they'll try to sell you and sell you and sell you beforehand and on the ship, can really add up. Photo packages on the ship can be expensive. I think for 10 photos, it's usually at least $100 or more. One photo is like $20. So take your camera with you. Have someone on the ship. There's always people that'll say, oh, let me take a picture of your family or something in ports. Or just purchase that one picture of all of you or whoever's in your party to remember the ship by. But to save money, you don't need to purchase the photo package. If you don't need Wi-Fi while on the ship, then don't purchase it. It's nice to get on there, not worry about having Wi-Fi or looking at your phone the whole time when you're on there. So unless you have to work or something like that, don't purchase the Wi-Fi. You'll have it when you're off the ship in ports. You can use your phone then, but give yourself a break. Save some money. Don't use Wi-Fi while on the ship. We just talked about the drink packages and the specialty dining. So that will just save you money if you don't pay for those extras. Take advantage of all the free activities that go on the cruise ship. The cruises are full of activities, packed full. You'll get your daily planner and you can choose what you want to do throughout the day. There's swimming pools on the ship, dance classes that are free, art classes, rock climbing walls, zip lines, mini golf. You can work out in the gym for free. Depending on your ship, you've got water slides, mini golf, ping pong, pool tables, the sports court with pickleball, basketball, tennis. It just goes on and on and on. There is a ton of free activities on the ship. So avoid paying for the ones like classes that charge you to make cupcakes, or classes, that you're going to pay for fitness classes or something. There's plenty of free activities, and certain cruise ships, like we were just on Royal Caribbean, you can do the iFly, which is the simulated skydiving. You can do that free on port days. Also, the water where you do the surfboard thing on there, and I can't think of the name of it right now. I have videos on both of these. That's free on port days. So a lot of things that are on the ship would be free on port days, and you'd have to pay way out to sea. The North Star, the big, it goes up 300 feet above. That's free when you're in port. So take advantage of that. And if you don't go to a port, or if you've gone for a little bit and then you're back on the ship, take advantage of those free things. And that way you don't have to pay for those. There's a lot to do without paying. Number 10 is avoid the cruise line transfers. Now, sometimes you might dock in a port that you need to get on a bus and go into town. Now, we had to do that on our last cruise in Sitka, but in Sitka, they do not charge you for the bus fare. You do have to book in advance now to take a bus in Sitka, and that's all online, and usually your cruise line will give you the link to it, and you book that. But in Victoria, Canada, the cruise lines were selling us $25 a person to ride this bus into town. where you can just get off there. There's taxis, there's rickshaws, there's all kinds of transportation there. We took a taxi into town for a lot less. So sometimes you might be better off just getting off the ship and grabbing a taxi into the port if the cruise ship is going to charge you per person for that. So check into that and you can find out. You'll save some money there. Limit your onboard shopping. Now, there's plenty of stores on board cruise ships trying to sell you stuff, giving away freebies to get you in and sell you more things, like your free charms that you get on the cruise ship. How many times have I bought these free charms, the charm bracelet, and then never wore them again? They sit in my jewelry box. I never wear them, so I don't do that anymore. Also, they'll have the inch of gold on the ship where you can buy the silver or gold necklaces, bracelets. It goes by the inch. I paid, I think it was $65 for a one of those inch of gold necklaces for somebody who was watching my dog while we were gone. Well, I got the necklace home. The clasp on it broke within the first 2 days. So instead of mailing it back, because you have to ship it every time something's wrong with it to Florida, we went and bought a clasp and put it on ourselves. But then the chain started turning green. And I'm like, come on now, I paid $65 for this inch of gold chain, so I had to send it back to Florida for them to replace it. But how embarrassing is that when you bring a nice gift back for someone and it's turning green? So I stay clear of their jewelry, the inch of gold especially, and some of the other things. If you want to buy jewelry or a watch, or the designer bags, usually you can find those prices online a lot cheaper for the same item, or even in your hometown. So check into that before you decide to buy those items. Another thing is the stores that sell things like the medicine, sunscreen, batteries, something you might have forgot to take with you. Those can be very expensive. I bought 6 little Tums chewables one time, Pepto-Bismol chewables, because I had heartburn, and it was like $12 for 6 pills. So make sure you pack those things with you. Anything you might need, like Tylenol, ibuprofen, aspirin, whatever you take, whatever meds, bring things like throat lozenges, cold medicine, just a preventive, just in case, so that you don't have to spend all that money on the cruise ship and you can save money there. Number 12, do your own laundry if you need to do laundry. If you've been cruising a long time or traveling a long time, you may need to do some laundry. It's a lot cheaper to go on the ship. They usually all have laundry services where you can do your own laundry. They also have ironing boards in there, instead of sending it to the cruise to do your laundry, which will cost you a lot more. Okay, when booking a cabin, think about getting a guaranteed cabin or inside cruise cabin if you're on a budget. Now, these are usually the most inexpensive type cabin on the ship. So if it doesn't matter to you, an inside cabin, you would have no window. Those are usually the cheapest cabin. When I first started cruising, we always did the inside cabin because it was the cheapest. But then once I got upgraded to a balcony cabin, I need at least a window cabin. I'd love a balcony, so if the balconies are cheaper and on sale, I go for that, like I did on this one. Even though it's an obstructed balcony, you still have a clear view above the lifeboat, so that's fine with me. So just check that out. Or a guaranteed cabin is that the cruise ship will pick your cabin for you. So if you don't want to be in a certain area, like I don't like to have a front of the ship cabin because of the rocking motion. I always choose middle or the back if possible. So if you're prone to seasickness, the best place to be is the middle of the ship, lower down on a lower deck. So keep that in mind when booking your cabin. But if it doesn't matter to you where you can be on the ship, if you'll be anywhere, then choose the guarantee cabin for the type you want. Let the cruise ship pick your cabin and you'll pay a lower price. Number 14 is join the loyalty programs. Now, all these cruise ships have loyalty programs. So once you join them and once you start cruising with them, your level will go up in different tiers. And as they go up, the more you'll get some free items, bottles of water, free cocktails. Sometimes if you're way up there, you'll get room offers that are really good rates. I get good rates, and I'm not that high up on the tiers of some of these cruise ships, but I do get pretty good rates sometime because I am in the loyalty program. So make sure you sign up for that and sign up for the cruise ship emails so that when their deals come around, you'll get notified of that. A lot of times they have good deals, especially on Black Fridays and things like that. So just go on to the various cruise lines and sign up for emails. That way when a good deal comes along, you'll get it first and find out about it. Travel insurance. Now, travel insurance, I would recommend everybody get. It is very important to purchase travel insurance and make sure that it covers everything on the ship, like your medical needs. If you had to be evacuated by helicopter because you had an illness and had to get off the ship right away. So travel insurance is very important, but check around for who has the less expensive. Make sure they cover everything you need. I know that I just looked into Alliance, and I'll put their link below, and they cover everything from they not only cover your cruise, but your airplane flight, whatever travel you're taking there, hotel rooms, luggage, and this and that. Or you can book with the cruise ship directly. That would cover your cruise, which right now Princess Cruise did quote me a pretty low rate on their insurance, so I'm probably going to go with that. But check around and see the different rates and take travel insurance. It would be worth it in the long run if anything happens to you at all. I know years ago my husband actually broke his foot stepping off of a bus from the cruise to the ship, and broke it right when we were getting on the ship, and he had to go to the medical, and it was very expensive. So make sure you take cruise insurance and check around for rates. Take advantage of some free drinks that would be around the cruise. Sometimes throughout the cruise they'll have things like alcohol sampling that you can go to and taste the different types of alcohol. They also will have at the champagne auctions like free champagne for you. Various places throughout the cruise lines, they'll do champagne toasts and things like that. So if you're wanting some free alcohol, be on the lookout for those things. It'll be in your daily planner. So there's some things you can do to cut the costs of the cruise to make it a little bit more affordable for you. You'll still have a wonderful time without these things that you could pay extra for. You really don't need them. Back in the olden days, they didn't have any of these extras. You just got on the cruise ship and enjoyed everything. So there you go. If you guys find some other ways you can save some money, let me know in the comments. But I want to thank you all for coming by today. If you liked my video, please give it a thumbs up, and please consider subscribing to my channel. It really helps me to grow. So bye for now, and everyone have a wonderful day.